If there's something strange in the neighborhood, who you gonna call?
Fulcrum
Harrison!
Entertainment!
There you go. Harrison! No, I'm kidding.
Busting
No.
makes me feel good.
Yes, indeed it does. What's up, everybody? It is I, your boy Gilbert,
and it's me, Harry.
and we are here for our fucking what's it? We're gonna be watching Ghostbusters. Yeah, for our Ghostbusters live watch. It's been a minute since we've done a watch party, and it's because we're gonna be getting what looks like it's gonna be an actually really great Ghostbusters movie. Like, I don't know if you're watching the trailers for Frozen Empire. It looks kind of awesome.
It does look pretty good. It does look pretty good. I mean, I've seen that one line from Bill Murray a lot. They're playing that over and over again in the trailers, but I'm excited to see what they do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. See, I'm like, I said it before how I slept on was not Frozen Empire, the
Afterlife.
Shit, Afterlife. Yeah, and Ghostbusters Afterlife, and I'm like, and I really regret doing that because it was such a good movie and it was way better than it had any right to be.
Yeah, that is a great way to describe it. Hey, man, how you doing?
What's up, Baz? How's it going? And yeah, so I just want to say for anyone in the chat, if you guys want to join with us and watch, we're going to be doing this, and I'm going to have, hopefully we don't get in trouble, but I'm going to have my Ghostbusters thing right here. Oh wait, turn my thing on maybe. And if I do that, then I can watch Ghostbusters. But yeah, we're going to be doing that and hopefully not get in trouble. Let me make sure that my thing's actually hooked up to my computer, because otherwise it's not going to work.
It's a slick operation here at Fulcrum Entertainment, guys.
Yeah, I mean, it was working earlier, and then I moved my TV screen, and it kind of fucked up.
Oh, no.
So I don't know what the hell. So yeah, while I try to work with this, you go ahead and stall and tell me something. Tell me how much you love this movie, Harrison.
I do love this movie a lot. Like the original Ghostbusters movies, I think for me, what's amazing about them is they are my favorite combination of comedy and not exactly horror, but I love that Ghostbusters takes ghosts kind of seriously, even though it's a comedy. Like, they're not goofy, wacky ghosts that look funny. They look cartoonish. Like, even Slimer, like, his design is like ugly and real, and I think that's really fucking cool. When we get to the dogs are awesome. Like as an effects movie, it's incredible. This, and it just happens to also be like one of the best classic comedies ever produced. And certainly, you know, if you think of Bill Murray, you think of Ghostbusters, and that man's got an incredible career. You know, like he's done wonderful, amazing things. Not just Garfield, but that man is Peter Venkman.
Yeah, no, I see. Now that's a tough one, because I mean, I've heard people argue that if you think about Bill Murray, you also think Stripes, or
yeah,
or like maybe Caddyshack. I know my dad always thinks Caddyshack, but yes, Ghostbusters is very iconic for his career. Like, if you're really anyone, then yes, you absolutely know him because of Ghostbusters, probably.
I think it's probably a generational thing as well, because like Stripes is a little older, and I'm a bit younger to like sort of watch Stripes, whereas, you know, Ghostbusters had a cartoon. I had loads of stuff to get me into Ghostbusters as a kid. So, you know, there wasn't a Stripes cartoon. I don't think there was a Caddyshack cartoon, although it's one of the things they might have done.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right about that. I'm pretty sure there wasn't a Caddyshack cartoon. God, I hope not. I feel like it would suck.
Like, you know, if I found a YouTube channel that was just like forgotten TV shows, and they were like, oh yeah, and the Caddyshack cartoon, I believe that existed. Just some sort of weird cartoon Rodney Dangerfield.
Voiced, ironically, by Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, did you ever see that movie Rover Dangerfield, where he was a dog?
I did. That weird movie where he goes and gets like thrown in a river and then ends up on a farm.
Yeah. Like, so what's this movie about? It's just Rodney Dangerfield's dog. That's it. That's the movie.
That's pretty much what that is. Just Rodney Dangerfield doing his act as a dog. All right, let's go ahead and do this. I got it all set up, guys. I think we've given you a good 5 minutes to get into it. If you want to join, as I said at any point, so you'll be able to know what part we're on because you'll be able to see it. And so in 5, 4, 3, 2, start.
Oh, let's get into this now. I love the score. The score is one of the first things about this movie that I think is incredible.
Oh, absolutely agreed. Like, just the opening, like honestly, just the movie itself is just a for like from start to finish. It's just an A. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and like this movie, obviously everyone loves the Ghostbusters theme song. It's a
Mhm.
really iconic song, but I think people forget how damn good the theatrical score is to this movie.
Oh yeah, like it definitely is like dramatic, and like the way it's shot, the way it's shown, like everything in here is great. And I do love how it's just like the opening shot is not, you don't start on Venkman, you don't start on what's Harold Ramis's character,
Egon, Egon
Egon. Yeah,
Spengler.
you start on this, like you start on the lady in the library and the fucking and the ghost librarian.
And like with that score, they managed to set up like an eerie tone that
Mhm.
you would have in like a movie that's supposed to be scary.
Absolutely. And also, like, if you, I don't know if you've ever been in those, in these like creepy little archive areas of the library, but those are like maybe not the public library in the New York, but like I've been to the UNM library, and it's like it's so eerie if you walk around certain rooms. It's like when it's no one's in there, it's like, dude, I feel like that shit could be happening.
I love those books.
Hey, we got Ha X35. You putting an emoji in here? Well, thank you for joining. I don't know what that emoji means, but thanks.
Ooh. It's my best translation of that emoji.
Boo.
Ooh. There was a thing
How did
that
they? Go ahead. Go ahead.
that I think the way they did that is that there's tubes of compressed air, like so they're firing air like through tubes in those drawers to make all the cards pop out.
Okay, that would make sense. And it's just blowing them up. Okay, because I was like, how the fuck did they do that?
It's
Like,
an
there's a lot of
incredible
really cool
effects
stuff.
movie. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
a lot of really cool stuff happened. Like, I love how like later on when they use the what's it called, the particle beams or whatever, like their weapons inside the hotel, like everything burns up and gets destroyed. It's like, damn, dude, it's just they did it really well for like the pyrotechnics in that game or in the game in that movie in this movie are really good.
yeah. For a 1984 movie, and again for a comedy, the fact that they got this level of effects made is almost miraculous. Shows you what Ivan Reitman can do.
Oh yeah.
Ah yes.
I remember them showing us this clip in college to teach us about negative reinforcement and what that means, like like an example of negative reinforcement and what that means.
uh, I like that they set up that Venkman is like kind of a piece of shit, like really early on.
Like, yeah, but it's also like I love it, but it's sad because you can't do this anymore. Like this is if you try to do this in 2023, they're instantly going to be like, no, cancel that actor, boo. Like, but yeah, obviously that was the joke at this time is that like, yeah, he's obviously trying to sleep with this dude's girlfriend.
One of the things I like, I've got a sort of personal theory about this movie where, like, I think that Ray and Egon believe in ghosts. They are 100% behind what they're doing. I
Yeah.
don't think Venkman ever, like, really believed in ghosts. I think they just happened to be real. But if they weren't, he would still do Ghostbusters. He would still try and scam people out of their money.
Shit, he's Michael J. Fox from that one movie. You know what I'm talking, the one where he sees ghosts, where
Oh,
he's like a
yes.
medium.
Yeah, the Frighteners.
Yeah, he's like Michael J. Fox from the Frighteners. Even though he's like, yeah, ghosts are real, he's just kind of doing it for the money and the fame.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just like, even though ghosts are real, he still made it into like a scam.
Like, and I mean, I guess, I mean, that's kind of, I mean, there definitely would be some of those people there. Like, you'd have the scientists who are really into it. You have the one guy who's kind of just there because he's like, fuck yeah, this is a way to get girls. And then you have the black dude who's there because we need a diversity hire. Horrible way to say that, but that's true.
I do always feel bad for Winston because he's not in this movie for a lot of it. There's a good chunk of this movie where Winston is not around.
And he doesn't really, I mean, it's sad that he doesn't really do much. Like, I think I even like comment on that he doesn't do much in the movie itself.
Yeah, yeah, he never gets the much. And then I can't remember the actor's name, but there was a thing of when they created the cartoon show, the real Ghostbusters. the guy who played Winston in this movie auditioned to be Winston in the show and was told he wasn't right for the part.
Let's see. Winston Zeddemore. Ernie Hudson.
Ernie
Fucking
Hudson.
poor Ernie Hudson.
Yeah.
He wasn't even memorable in the he wasn't memorable enough to play himself in the cartoon.
Yeah, they gave it to Arsenio Hall, I think.
I mean, you know, people liked Arsenio Hall in the 90s, you know.
Yeah, you know, that's great. Coming to America's a good movie.
What I've always found ironic is that, and this is just a weird thing that was pointed out to me, but yeah, fucking Bill Murray plays this, and he plays Garfield, and then in the cartoon versions of both of those, it was Lorenzo music.
Yeah. Lorenzo music sort of taking away, like, well, I don't know. It's like they both stole each other's roles.
Any aliens in this one? No, maybe you're not familiar with the Ghostbusters, but I gotta wonder, how did these two become friends? Like we mentioned before, how Bill Murray is not in. He's in this for like the fame or the money, and Dan Aykroyd he's in it for, you know, because he truly believes in ghosts and he finds the whole thing fascinating. So how do these two just become like best friends?
I don't know. I wonder. I think there was some stuff about like the backstory. There have been like comics or things that have explained it. And from what I understand, I think a lot of it was like, if I remember right, that Ray and Egon were the only reason that Peter was able to get a doctorate. Was like they kind of coached him and like tutored him and kind of did half the work for him. I think that's how they became friends.
Oh shit. Yeah,
and I think for like Ray and Egon, I think that they're two guys who, like, if it wasn't for Peter, they wouldn't have any other friends. They just know each other.
That probably, yeah. They're two kids in the lunchroom who are just like, let's just sit over here.
Yeah, yeah. You know, like they're not bad guys, but you can't have a conversation with them that feels anywhere near normal.
Yeah.
Scientology, that's how they're friends.
I love the buffering emoji next to it as well.
This is the bit where Peter asks some weird questions to this woman.
I mean, I feel like he's just trying to be a dick. He's like, have you ever experienced any, like, or what is it? Not depression. Are you like schizophrenia or like anything like that? And she answers, and he's like, well, I say that's a yes. I'm like, dude, you're a dick.
And then he asks her if she's on her period.
Dude, Bill Murray has like some of the best lines in this movie. Like, I think my favorite one is later on. He's like, yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
Oh yeah,
it's the greatest line of any 80s movie ever. And I include They Live.
I think ruined that actor's life. Like, that actor spent the rest of his life with everyone going, "Hey, dickless."
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of shitty for him, but you know, that's the price.
I love the line coming up here. No human would stack books like this. Interesting. When you say the Philadelphia mass disturbance in 1947, I think he's talking about the Philadelphia experiment, which is supposedly an incident where some secret government weapon technology was being tested, and the what was the ship called? I can't remember what the ship was called, but a US battleship and all of its crew was sort of like teleported to another dimension.
Oh shit!
They
didn't know anything about that
in Loki. You know, when like they go to the place like where the TVA sends you when they zap you, that battleship is in that place.
Oh shit! Okay.
I think, like, for someone like me who loves weird and stupid, creepy things and ghosts and aliens and stuff, I love that Dan Aykroyd is legitimately really into them as well.
Like, yeah, that's what I've heard. I apparently, I guess that's why that later on in the movie, when he has that weird like fellatio scene with a ghost, apparently it's a thing that he believes actually happens, and he fought for that scene because he wants people to like think that is a thing that happens.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd, I believe that his house, or at least the house he used to live in, was previously owned by Mama Cass from the Mamas and the Papas. And he
No shit.
believes that Mama Cass's ghost got into bed with him one night.
Yeah. And apparently that is a phenomenon. Not necessarily Mama Cass, but the idea of ghosts getting sleeping with human beings is apparently a phenomenon that he believes is like a thing that happens on a regular basis. And so that's why he wanted that to be included in the Ghostbusters. Such a weird fucking dude. Oh, here we go. Fucking librarian ghost.
This is one of my favorite things about this movie is that as much as like they're scientists and they know all the stuff about ghosts and they know all these technical things, their plan for when they find a ghost is just get her.
I mean, at the end of the day, they are a couple of knuckleheads. Like I love how even if they are like PhDs and shit, they're just a couple of dummies.
Yeah.
Hey, JPM, what's going on?
Howdy.
How's it going? And we're just hanging out here enjoying some Ghostbusters.
Yeah, busting some ghosts.
So, I wonder, is she really that big of a problem if all she's doing is just being a librarian? She's just telling you, shh, like, don't talk.
Yeah, I mean, black magic is wild. Hells yeah.
Facts.
Get up to some strange stuff. But mostly it's just like hanging out with like goths and not making out with each other even though you think you might do it.
Yeah, like you're right though. That was a great plan. He came at her with a camera. Get her! I'm like, dude. How actual This is like every episode of fucking Ghost Hunters. If you've ever watched that, it's like, what was that? What was that? Ah! And they run out of their fucking.
JPM's just chilling with some kettle on a Saturday afternoon. Nice.
Righto, mate. Or whatever. Just finished up a live stream. Very nice.
Very nice. Hope it went well.
Yeah. Game or movie? I don't. Let's see. So yeah, I think it's funny how like every time they go on like a thing about like sciencey, like oh well, the quantum, blah, 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 Bill Murray is just sitting there like,
yeah,
like he doesn't like, and it actively like lets us know that he has no idea what the fuck they're talking about.
I think this bit here where like the dean kicks them out, this is sort of what cements to me that I think Bill Murray in this movie is a con man. I think Peter Venkman is just a con man who it happened that they were actually real. A bit like Whoopi Goldberg in Ghost, when like she's just kind of like talking shit to people, pretending to be a psychic, and then she actually gets invaded by a ghost,
and then has sex with Demi Moore because yeah, she did.
Yeah.
It's like that is the weirdest part of that movie, but you know what? If ghosts can do that, I'm down. Like that makes me almost want to become a ghost because then I would start possessing people all the time.
Would you like to be a ghost when you die? Would you prefer to like stay and
I don't know. I think it'd be kind of fun to fuck with people. Like, like not necessarily like anything harmful. I wouldn't throw people across the room or anything, but yeah, I might open a door, knock on a window or something like that just to scare somebody now and then. Give them a little something to put on YouTube.
Yeah, I think I'd be into being a ghost. I'd go around looking at stuff that I don't normally see. Like I'd start looking in walls and things and be like, oh, this is weird. Watching animals or something.
Yeah, like I mean, if you're a ghost, in theory, could you travel places? Like, could I go like other elsewheres of life, or do I just have to stay at the place where I died? Because that might suck.
Yeah, most ghost things have like you are stuck where you died, or where something important happened, or something like that. So that might be a bit rubbish.
Yeah, so that might suck, but I don't know. Maybe depends. If I die in somewhere fun, like a hotel or something, I could screw with people all day long.
Yeah, they just remortgage his house.
Oh yeah, no, that's a dick thing. I forgot
Everybody
about that.
has
They
three
just like
mortgages.
they mortgage his house for 19% fucking interest. Oh my god. Which kind of explains later on in the next movies and why he's like running a bookshop and he has like nothing by the
Yeah,
time we get to the afterlife one.
I love that. Like, and there's a lot of people who aren't so keen on the second movie, but there are things I love about it, and I love like the stuff they're doing when being Ghostbusters kind of fails. Like, I
Mm.
love the show that Bill Murray hosts, the like weird world of whatever. He's
Mm.
talking to that woman who's convinced that an alien had sex with her in a hotel and told her the world was going to end.
He's basically doing like kind of like Maury, but for weird people who like say they were abducted by aliens or some shit.
Yeah,
Fucking, he's kind of how that's kind of how I am with a place. I find one cool thing about him, like, oh, dude, when do I move? I just love how
oh,
excited he is about this shitty firehouse.
I'm totally with him though. Like as much as like it would probably be a bad purchase, I'd move into that place. If someone's like, "Do you want to live in this old firehouse?" I'm like, yeah,
It's like I actually would kind of live in an old abandoned fire. Like if I could like had water, if I had like gas, like if it was like actually livable, then fuck yeah, dude, I'd live in a firehouse.
yeah.
See, JPM says Ghost Hunters. I remember that show with the guys from Roto Rooter or Roster Rooter, whatever it was called.
Uh,
Uh,
we've got a thing here in the UK that's called Most Haunted. Similar sort of idea. Like people would just go to like haunted locations and then they'd just hang around with infrared cameras for ages. But like they're such liars. Like they're such liars. Like I love a good like ghost show, but like one guy kept saying that a ghost poked him in the eye. Like and he was so
yeah.
like, oh my god, this ghost poked me in the eye. I'm like, what is this ghost? Like, is
Yeah,
it one
no.
of the
I
Marx
once saw a dude who
brothers?
said like a ghost scratched his back or something like that, or like, oh, it cut me. I'm like, dude, shut up.
You liar. And yes, JPM, thank you. Yeah, you remember the people who said they were probed with microchips.
I feel so bad for Rick Moranis in this. Like he tries so hard with Sigourney Weaver, and he seems like such a nice guy.
I love Rick Moranis so much.
Dude, he's the best. Little Shop of Horrors remains one of the greatest movies of all time.
It's my favorite musical. Like it's incredible, Little Shop of Horrors.
It also has Bill Murray in that too. He's the dude who goes to the dentist and likes being hurt.
Yeah,
He's like a
the weird
masochist.
Yes, yeah.
It's such a good scene too. I was so surprised because I think until a couple of years ago I had never seen that movie, and I went to go like or I saw it on Netflix. I'm like, oh okay, And when Bill Murray shows up with fucking what's his name, Steve Martin as the dentist, I'm like, dude, this is an awesome fuck yes.
It's a great cast. Like it's some of like your '80s comedy legends, like Rick Moranis, Bill Murray, Steve Martin, John Candy's in it. Like it's
That's
just
right.
full of great people. Yeah, JPM said he remembers Most Haunted. Used to watch it in 2005 as a kid. Exactly. Prime kid watching. The Lady and That One Guy is a Medium. I used to watch that every Friday after school. Yeah, they had the Scouse guy, Derek Akora, who like he had a spiritual guide called Sam. He's like, oh, what's that, Sam? What's that? Oh no, Sam, somebody died here. Oh, mate.
That's awesome. See, like this is what. Go ahead.
No, you go. I think you've got to say the same thing as me.
Yeah, but not like this kind of thing is. First of all, this is really cool. I don't know how the hell they did this with the eggs, but also this is what the kind of shit I'd be doing to people if they were, like if I was a ghost, is I'd be fucking with them like this. Also, I don't know if you noticed the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man right there. That is a foreshadow for later.
Yeah, they set up the Stay Puft brand. When I was a kid, I was convinced that Stay Puft must be a real thing, like in the real world, because they talk about it like everyone knows what Stay Puft is.
Yeah, no, I mean, in America we have Jet Puffed, but there is no Jet Puffed Man. It's literally just a jar of like whipped sugar. It's basically marshmallow paste, but yeah.
Zool.
Zool. Hey, what's up? Brightburn says, do you guys agree with the notion that Ghostbusters is a movie about nothing? Patrick H. Willems talked about this to an extent. Is it a movie about nothing? I wouldn't say it's a movie about nothing. It's definitely a movie about guys, hunting ghosts. I would say that the setup is a little thin, but it's still a very iconic and it's still a great movie, and the story is still there.
Yeah, I suppose like it's not like there's a movie where like a lot of movies would have it set up that like they'd maybe set up the threat of Gozer straight away, and then make it like these guys have got to figure out how to beat Gozer. But instead, it's more just like everything just happens to them, like just by coincidence, they start Ghostbusters, and then by coincidence, Sigourney Weaver gets possessed by a dog, and it just happens that the world's going to end. And luckily enough, the Ghostbusters are there.
Yeah, like they're kind of just bumbling idiots who just kind of fall into it. And I feel like that's a lot of like the 80s comedy. Like if you ever watch Spies Like Us, or again like Stripes, if you ever watch anything from that, it's just bumbling moron is put into this extraordinary situation. Nice.
Yeah, just
that was good stuff. Good stuff.
Right. Sorry about this, but I want to say about Janine, right? Another thing of like, I really like the second movie. Janine, I think, looks incredible in the second movie.
I'm gonna be honest. I think she kind of looks incredible right now. Like her right there, sitting there with them glasses on. I'm like, I'd be down. I'd be down there too.
But I agree. But also with this bit, watch Bill Murray when he jumps over the gate. He almost doesn't make it. It's like his foot catches on the gate that he jumps over. Look at this guy working on a car with a cigarette in his mouth. In his office as well.
So I'm gonna say it. I'm just gonna say I think that Sigourney Weaver is way too hot for Bill Murray. That woman is gorgeous.
yeah, she could do better than Bill Murray.
She definitely could. Like Bill Murray's funny. Don't get me wrong, and funny goes a long way. But I'm sorry, man. Sigourney Weaver's out of your league. Let's see, Brightburn says Stay Puft Marshmallows is a lot like the cigarette brand from Quentin Tarantino created, Red Apples.
I for some reason I like when movies invent brands, like because was it Tarantino did the Big Kahuna Burger as well, which has turned up in a bunch of his movies, and like Kevin Smith had it with his brand of cigarettes, Nails.
Also, Mubi, like Mubi.
Oh, yeah, Mubi.
Yeah, like any like the McMubi muffin or whatever.
They've like started doing movie pop-up restaurants every now and then. They'll like actually sell movies.
I have seen that. Yeah, like Kevin Smith really has like he's capitalized really well on that brand.
Yeah. Like I love Kevin Smith, but he'll make money off of anything.
Hey man, make your money, dude. Make another shitty movie. Make another shitty Tusk movie. I like this. Like you get here where Egon and Ray, they're legit trying to fix her issue. They're like, okay, let's figure out what ghost this is. We'll do some research. And Bill Murray's like, why don't I go to your apartment? How about you and I just spend some time alone together? Yeah, it's like, I'll go check out the apartment and investigate. I'm like, Like, yeah, no, you're absolutely like they establish at every turn that Bill Murray is a piece of shit. but again, he's the best part of this movie. He's the funniest damn part.
He's a lovable piece of shit, I think I'll say. Ghosts hate that.
This fucking guy. What even is this goofy little contraption that he has?
Yeah, I have no idea what that's supposed to be.
It's like a copper rod.
I've got a feeling it might be an actual piece of equipment that people use, but not for ghosts. Like, I think like it might like take air samples or something and like figure out if there's like, I don't know, radon gas in the air or something.
Okay, that would, yeah, it looked like it was a, what's it called? fucking bug sprayer or something like that. That's what I thought it was for a minute.
Yeah, it could be something like that. Yeah.
Let's see, Brightburn says, I'm sorry, but whenever I see Sigourney Weaver in Ghostbusters, I can't help but think of her line in Aliens. Get away from her, you bitch! Kinda, yeah. I
think it'd be
I
fun
see
to
that.
like add that into every single Sigourney Weaver movie. Like
Have
it would
that
make
be her,
Avatar
like...
more interesting.
I mean, I feel like people would have liked it a little more. And that was also a James Cameron movie, so you know what? Everyone would have been like, oh, hey! It was the fucking DiCaprio. Oh, here it comes. See, what's up to unwary paraphrasing?
I think this is some spam bot shit.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it absolutely is. And you should read these before I start just clicking them on, huh? So yeah, here's a good interesting question. If you were to open your fridge and find a portal to another, like to a hell dimension, I feel like I'm asking the wrong person. What would you do?
I mean, I probably would be freaked out. Like, I have said before that like I am willing to become a monster. like
You'll be the gatekeeper, or not the gatekeeper. You'll be the keymaster.
That'd be quite. To be honest, even just pretending to do that, just start running around parks, just asking people like, "Are you the gatekeeper?"
I'm the keymaster. Are you the gatekeeper?
That's a good Sunday afternoon.
Start scaring the shit out of people, just like going for a nice walk in the park.
Yeah, it's a good way to get on the local news. Yeah, like I say, like if that actually happened, I'd be terrified and freak out because, like, oh shit, what? I'd either assume I'd gone mad or everything that I know is a lie, and then I would go mad. But you know, like it might be fun to just be a ghost for a bit. Well, I say a bit, I guess eternity probably.
Mm.
But no, like I think I said it was like if Resident Evil happened, if I got infected with the T virus, particularly if like it was like a different virus, so it was like you're gonna be a proper monster, I think I'd just roll with it. I'd be like, okay, fine.
Fucking someone gives you the G virus, you're gonna be like, nah, let that eyeball grow out of my fucking shoulder.
Just like, all right, let's see what happens.
Like the T virus, maybe, because I'm like, well, if I'm gonna turn into a zombie anyway, there's no changing that now. Might as well just see how it goes.
Yeah, because like you get zombie movies where people try and fix it, they like cut off arms when they got bit and stuff like that, and I'm like, let's see what happens.
It's not gonna work.
I've never been a zombie before. It'd be an experience, I suppose.
So yeah, that's how I kind of feel about being a ghost. I'm like, I've never been a ghost before. Fuck it, let's see how that goes.
Yeah. Let's see what that's like.
Let's take her out to this fucking guy, man. He's just every turn. Should take her out to dinner. We don't want to lose her as a client. It's like, God damn it, Bill.
Oh, here we go. We got one. And we're going to get to our iconic Slimer in a moment.
Indeed. We came, we saw, we kicked his ass. Again, the most iconic lines, all Bill Murray. It's sad that it's like Dan Aykroyd and fucking Rick Moran, or not Harold Ramis. Yeah. They got fucking upstaged like crazy in this movie.
Yeah, they did. I think they're very good straight men. You know, like the movie wouldn't work if you didn't have them doing what they're doing. It's one of the reasons why I don't think that Ghostbusters 2016 works very well. Because, like, in this, Bill Murray's the only one who's, like, wisecracking. The other guys can be funny, but they're funny in how they react. You know, they're funny in how serious they are compared to how much he doesn't take it seriously. And then in 2016, everyone thinks they're, like, the funny character. So everyone's doing jokes. And I'm like, just wind it back in a bit, guys. Like, it doesn't work the same way.
I guess you're right. Like at this point in time, you had to have you're right. You had to have the guys who took it seriously, and you had to have the funny guy. But it's just a little sad that I feel like because Dan Aykroyd, you know, he is a funny guy. Like maybe not Harold Ramis, but Dan Aykroyd definitely is a funny man. So I'm like, I just feel like it would have been nice to have the two of them bounced off each other a little bit.
Yeah, One thing, like, I don't know, I think Dan Aykroyd's very good at doing this stuff, and a bit like what's his name, Gene Wilder, a bit like that, like how like Gene Wilder is like super funny, but he's
Hmm.
not like always the funny guy. You know, like you've got Richard Pryor with him in so many movies. Like Richard Pryor is like the comedian, the one who's like a laugh a minute, but Gene Wilder makes it funnier by being there and being the straight man.
True.
And Dan Aykroyd's great at that. I mean, like the Blues Brothers, like Elwood doesn't have funny lines. He's just like some weird guy who just eats toast. But it's an incredibly funny movie, and he wrote the damn thing anyway.
Hmm. So I'm curious. Do you think they well? Do you think they should have ever tried to make a Ghostbusters 3? Like, I know Harold Ramis died before he had the chance to write it, but do you think they ever should have tried?
I think so. Like from what I heard, there was the whole thing of that they had some sort of like agreement that they all had to agree to make a new. They had to like agree and be happy with the script, and they tried a few times, and Bill Murray was never happy with it. So,
Uh,
so I'm guessing, like whatever they came up with wasn't great. I mean, I probably would have enjoyed a Ghostbusters 3, but to be fair, I'm like I don't know what they'll do because they can't. I mean, again, some people have some legit problems with Ghostbusters 2, and it is kind of the same story again of like there's some guys in New York, they don't know what they're doing. Oh, and they've got to save the world from a big old ghost again. Like, so it
hmm.
would just be that. Or rather, if it was just that, I don't think it'd be worth watching.
Oh, I was talking about this earlier. This is what I meant. It's kind of cool how they have. Well, I guess it is just pretty basic stuff, but I do like the animation that they did with that with the pyrotechnics.
I mean, it's
Like,
pretty impressive, like how they've had to shoot like live action pyrotechnics on the day, and then
mm,
go tie in their special effects, their visual effects to that later on.
mm. Let's see. I think we should split up. Yep, me too. We can do more damage that way. Dude, Bill Murray. Fucking great. But Brightburn says, are you familiar with John Campea? I am not. He says he did a review of Frozen Empire and I couldn't help but notice the hypocrisy. He wants the franchise to end because it's a bit samey, but so is Fast and the Furious 1 through 10. I'm assuming that this guy likes Fast and the Furious 1 through 10. But yeah, Fast and the Furious is just lame at this point because there's Slimer. But yeah, Fast and the Furious is lame because at this point it's gotten to the point where it's like, all right, let's go. We're bad guys, but then we're gonna get roped into doing this thing to take down a bigger bad guy, and we're gonna use the cars to rob the bad guy, and then there's another dude who's gonna be the bad guy in the next movie who we're gonna take out this movie, or like it's lame. It's gotten to the point where it's like I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I think this is a big thing in general with movies at the moment of franchises. When should a franchise end? Should they keep going? And unfortunately, I don't think that there's a good, like an easy answer because, like, I agree. I think it seems to me that Fast and Furious has been going on way too long. But I'm also like, I guess keep making stuff. I don't know.
Like I liked it when it was Point Break with cars, but then it became like they're secret agents and shit. Now you got like Vin Diesel driving a car out of a fucking rocket ship or something. It's like it's got ridiculous.
I think I'm much more into the like. I don't know if it's entirely what they're doing with Frozen Empire, but there was a whole idea of there being like loads of different Ghostbusters like around the country / around the world, and you'd go hang out with different teams of Ghostbusters. I think that was a cool idea. I like that.
I'd watch a Ghostbusters series, like have different teams doing different ghost shit around the world.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know, just different kinds of Ghostbusters. So again, I think an issue with 2016 was that like it was trying to be too much like this, too much like okay, it's about a comedy. It's a comedy about a bunch of people in New York who discover ghosts and discover a way to trap them. Like, nah, if you just said like, oh, it's a different team, like if it was like a team in LA or something, the West Coast Ghostbusters or something, like I think it would have been more interesting and easier to accept.
So I wonder how much of a presence Ghostbusters has in other countries. Like obviously, like like in the UK or like I'm sure Scotland, like anywhere in like Great Britain or in Europe. I'm sure that it's still pretty big. But I mean, I wonder like in like Asian countries or like maybe Russia, because I'd be interested to see because there's ghost stories from all over the world. So I'd be interested to see international Ghostbusters. Like let's see some Japanese Ghostbusters.
Yeah, like the Ghostbusters versus the Grudge, that kind of thing.
Exactly, some shit like that. I think you can make a cool series out of that and make it like an anthology. Each episode is a different. Is maybe it could be one in America, one over here in the UK, one over in like Spain or whatever. You know, like have different ghost stories from different countries and have different Ghostbusters because this is like iconic across the world. Like
Yeah,
every Comic Con
Japanese,
I go to,
Irish.
there's somebody in these jumpsuits.
Yeah, I think that would be a really cool idea to see that.
Table broke the fall. And that everyone that is don't cross the streams. That is both a rule for the Ghostbusters and at the urinal. You never cross streams.
Yes, yeah.
Like if you're in the trough with the next guy at the ball game, you do not cross streams. That is a dick move.
I mean, to be fair, that's kind of like this movie made crossing the streams a thing.
Yeah, no, I love how that's the very first thing. He's like, don't cross the stream, and that's how they win at the
I'll use it
end.
for stuff in general. Like I don't know. Yeah, but and like in terms of stuff, like if it's like, oh, I don't want to drink this booze like while I'm on this kind of night out because it's going to make me think of this every time I drink that. I don't want to cross the streams. It's that kind of vibe.
Mm. They're just fucking up that entire hotel.
Yeah.
Because it would be interesting if even the next Ghostbusters goes to Chicago and they form a Ghostbusters team in Chicago. I'd be down for that. Like, yeah, Chicago or like this was in New York. Like, I mean, I would be down for like a West Coast one in California. Like anywhere where that's haunted. Let's get some haunted places.
And like you could do different things. Like you could start tying it into like cryptids or things that people, like legends that exist already. So you could have like they're looking for Mothman or something like that. Oh,
like the Ghostbusters versus the Evil Dead would be a great fucking movie.
Yeah,
or a great story at least.
Kind of into that movie. I would love to see like a gory, bloody Ghostbusters movie. That would be sweet. Because like the ghosts in Ghostbusters, they kind of just mess with people. Like they don't really hurt anybody until like at the end when they're like, oh, they're going to destroy the world.
Mm-hmm.
But like Slimer doesn't do it. He's just fucking up with people's day.
Yeah, he's just eating.
And even like at the end of it, when like they release all the ghosts out of the containment unit, and then ghosts start turning up all over the city. Like they're not... one of them is just a taxi driver. It's just like, yeah, man, I'm not a good taxi driver, but I'm a driver.
He's just a skeleton that's driving a taxi. He's like not really a big deal.
Yeah, he ain't doing much.
This fucking guy. Oh man, dude, this we kicked his ass. I love it. Maybe. Yeah, no, sorry. If I'm you guys just heard me say maybe. I was responding to the movie. She's like, "What is it? Are there more of them?" I'm like, "Yep, maybe." Sorry, I'm enjoying the hell out of this.
Depends how old that hotel is, man. How many people you had kill themselves in this hotel?
That's a good. Ooh, I wonder. Does that mean the Slimer is just a guy who just like died eating in the hotel?
I mean, probably, quite possibly. Brightburn saying it'd be too much if the Ghostbusters were filmed in the Twin Cities, though, because there's two cities relatively close together that they have to explore for evil spirits. Possibly. Could be like a Ghostbusters New Orleans could be interesting. Like they did some episode. They did at least one episode in New Orleans in the cartoon series. They go and like have to fight a ghost jazz band.
Oh, you're talking about Minneapolis and St. Paul. Oh, well, maybe Minneapolis, but no one gives a fuck about St. Paul.
Fuck you, Minnesota. That's the official stance of Fulcrum Entertainment. No one gives a shit about St. Paul.
It's like Minneapolis, but nobody gives a shit about St. Paul. He was the redheaded twin.
Don't you even ask us what we think of Indianapolis, man. Now. That the Ecto one is one of the greatest movie cars of all time. Like, I know everyone's got stuff. Everyone loves Batmobiles. Everyone loves the James Bond cars, but it's all about that Ecto one, man.
See, for me, it's the Ecto for like the '80s. It's the Ecto One or the DeLorean. But yeah, but the Ecto One is definitely up there.
I as much as like I wonder which would be worse to have because like the Ecto One I feel is going to be really hard to get into a parking garage. Like you're just going to be knocking shit off the top of it the entire time. But then like you
The
could get
thing
the
looks,
DeLorean
yeah,
in, but you wouldn't be able to open the doors.
yeah, no, good point. Hey, it's Casey Kasem.
Casey
Yeah,
Kasem?
yeah. So Casey Kasem, he's a radio person that he was before. I think he's dead now. But yeah, he was also Shaggy on the '70s Scooby Doo cartoons.
Oh really? Huh.
Yeah, so that was a big old thing. My dad used to listen to that guy on his talk radio show every fucking day.
Oh wow. Oh yeah, and there's that weird thing about Dana that she's like a cellist. Except she isn't in the second movie. Like she goes from like playing in like a big important orchestra in this movie, and the
Yeah, she
second
was like
movie
an
she's
art.
an art
Wasn't she like an
restorer.
art person? Yeah, an art
Yeah.
historian or restorer or yeah, whatever the word. I don't know. She works with paintings.
Ah, here it
Uh,
is. Ray's about to ectoplasm all over his sheets.
I mean, I feel like if he's not like saying no, it's not really bad. But I'm like, is this not some kind of sexual assault?
Well, like I don't know, because is it supposed to? It's a dream because like it's not actually happening. Like
I have no way. Damn, I forgot that we're like halfway through the fucking movie and Ernie Hudson shows up now. We're 45 minutes into this thing.
yeah, Ernie Hudson takes forever to get here.
Jeez.
It's like the James Bond film on Her Majesty's Secret Services. We don't talk about it because Cubby Broccoli and Harry Zaltzman gambled on George Lazenby and they lost. All right.
I don't get any of those references, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of get it. Yeah, like no one talks about on Her Majesty's Secret Service. It's almost like a comedy, like James Bond movie. Like it's nothing like the rest of the James Bond movies.
Doesn't take itself seriously.
Yeah, and then yeah, George Lazenby was like the Bond that time forgot.
So yeah, man, that's a weird thing. I feel like they didn't know what to do with Sigourney Weaver's character because yeah, they make it a big thing here that she's like a cellist, and then in the next one, like yeah, you said that she's an art historian / restorer or whatever. It's like the weirdest thing is like that. Do those two careers do not translate?
Yeah, and like she has the fanciest jobs in New York.
Well, yeah, it's what would allow her to be rich and have the time to be to be the gatekeeper or whatever.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They also very weirdly she has a baby in the second one, and they don't explain where that baby comes from. Like we all assume it's Venkman's, but it never actually like he actively says like, oh yeah, no, like it's not yours, Peter, or he's sitting there hanging out with a kid and like babysitting. He's like, oh well, your mom and me used to hang out, and he's like, he doesn't even acknowledge that. I'm like, dude, that's your kid. That's obviously your kid.
For some reason, yeah, I thought that they do say it's like her ex's kid, like, but that's a weird thing about the second movie, isn't like. Yeah, they do this whole thing where he tries to sort of get Dana in this movie. And then in the second one, they're like, nah, she just didn't stick around with him. And to be honest, I'm not surprised. I don't think you should stick around with this man. This man is unreliable.
Let's see, how did you like Sigourney Weaver, or how did Sigourney Weaver strike you in Avatar? Good, I guess. I liked her character. She was not something I didn't like about the movie. And there was many things I didn't like about Avatar. She was not one of them.
Yeah, I'm very much on the same thing. Like, I dislike Avatar so much that like I barely even think about Sigourney Weaver being in it. Like, she couldn't save it for me, but she's not bad.
Exactly. That's exactly where I'm in. Is that like she was? I would definitely welcome. She was a welcome sight, but she was not. She didn't make the movie any better, I suppose, by being there.
I like Sigourney Weaver in an awful lot of movies. Like, she's great in the Alien franchise. I think even in sort of the later ones that aren't as good, like she's still good. Like I still enjoy Sigourney Weaver. I love it whenever she turns up in stuff now. Like when she turns up in Cabin in the Woods, it's fantastic. I'm trying to think of other things I've seen Sigourney Weaver in recently. Not a huge amount, I'll admit.
Yeah, all right. I saw her in the Defenders show. I remember that. She was the bad guy. She worked for the
God, it's been a
Hand.
long
Yeah.
time since I watched Defenders.
Yeah, she was the bad guy in the Defenders. Let me see. Yeah, no, I remember she was in Galaxy Quest. She played in Galaxy Quest. That movie was fucking awesome.
Oh man, Galaxy Quest is such a good movie. Oh,
that's
possibly,
depressing and never got a second one.
I'd say that's probably my favorite Tim Allen movie. It's not
agreed.
It's not a big race for favorite Tim Allen movie, but like I'd say it's that, you know.
Nah, dude, the Santa Claus and like the 5 sequels that came after it.
I liked the first Santa Claus when I was a kid. I'll say that.
Agreed.
And I can't say
but
that
yeah,
I like Home Improvement, but I know I watched a lot of it.
Remember Sigourney Weaver? Oh, that's right. She is the bad guy in Paul. That's right. I forgot about that one.
God, that's another movie I have not seen in a long time.
But don't think she had any dimension in that film. Yeah, no, she was very one note in that film. But it's like because that was just the reference of like, hey, alien movie. It's Sigourney Weaver. Ha ha.
Yeah. It's like, and Simon Pegg and Nick Frost just really wanted to meet Sigourney Weaver.
I think that's exactly what that was. Oh, this fucking
here he is.
All right, so this guy looks familiar. I think he's going to be in Frozen Empire as well, which I think is awesome.
Oh, nice.
I really hope that one of the kids calls him Dickless.
He plays a very similar character in Die Hard 2, I think. I think he's like on the plane with John McClane's wife. He's like a journalist.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. I think he might have been the journalist in the first one as well. But yes.
Or maybe.
Yeah, no, I know who you're talking about. I think he is in Die Hard. I thought for a minute that he reminded me of the guy from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the teacher or the principal, but no, that's not the same guy.
Ah, right. Who is this actor? Is it? It's not Walter Peck, is it? What's his name? William. His character's Walter Peck. Yeah, but William Atherton is the actor. Oh, you're right. He is in Die Hard. Yeah, he is in the first Die Hard.
This fucking guy. The EPA. What is it? Well, fucking, you know what? The most like, I would say, most useless government agency that nobody cares about. It's the bad guy of Ghostbusters.
You kind of need an environment, guys.
No, we don't. Fuck the environment. No, I'm kidding. Like a true American. Fuck the environment.
Yeah, I've got my truck and that's all I need.
Got my diesel 4x4.
It's like, have you seen like the people been playing them recently, like footage of newsreels and stuff like that when they started introducing laws like you have to wear a seatbelt and you can't drink and drive. Yeah. And it's all these people going, "It's not America.
That's my freedom. It's going to be, what are we in communist Russia?" I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ.
I can't come home from work and have a couple of beers on the way.
Yeah, no, and whilst the chick is saying it, she has like a beer in her lap, like sitting there, like open. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. Kids jumping on the seat, not buckled in. I'm like, dude, this is why so many people died.
Yeah, guys.
Although, now we're facing overpopulation, so maybe we should have let those people keep doing that. Speaking of one note, I heard Conor McGregor is very one note in the Roadhouse remake on Amazon. Oh God, I don't even. You could not pay. Like I have to pay Amazon to watch that show. You could not pay me enough to give a shit about it.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Patrick Swayze Roadhouse. Like the main way I know it is from Always Sunny. Is it actually any good?
It's 80s good. It was like, you know, I mean, if you like, I don't know, if you like Patrick Swayze, it's all right. I mean, I would say it's 80s good because it's like, it was kind of like, oh yeah, that's what a man does. He fucking stands up for the woman. He fucking beats up these guys. You know, I'm like, dude, it's the most bullshit thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, right, okay. Yeah.
But yeah, for people of that time, it was very much like, you know, you could see why people enjoyed it.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Like chicks wanted to fuck Patrick Swayze and guys wanted to be him.
So, Brightburn, who's Conor McGregor playing in Roadhouse? Like, is he the Patrick Swayze part, or is he just...
I think that's Jake Gyllenhaal plays the Patrick Swayze one.
Okay.
Conor McGregor, I think, plays the bad guy.
Oh, all right. Look at that outfit that he's got on. With his little, like, What do you call that? What do you call that? Like Fred from Scooby Doo? Oh, no, it's a turtleneck underneath his
Yeah, no,
shirt.
exactly. I don't think he's wearing an ascot. I think he's wearing a turtleneck, which is like,
What is that?
poor bastard. I feel so bad for Rick Moranis in this. He's like the butt of every joke that he's in. Every scene he's in, he's the butt of the joke. And it's like, nah, man, he's so much cooler than that.
Even like his party, it's not his friends; they're his clients. Like,
well, except for that one blonde girl who I'm pretty sure is like doinking him or something. I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm like, dude, why are you going after Sigourney Weaver when you got the blonde chick who was like really depressed that you're not giving her any attention?
that's a good point. This whole sequence here, I love it. I love when Ghostbusters gets actually kind of scary, and bits of this, and especially if you're a younger viewer, like these are freaky.
So I'm gonna be honest. I kind of thought you were being a perv right there when you said, "I love when Ghostbusters does this," and she starts undressing. I'm like, I bet you do.
If I wanted to perv on Sigourney Weaver, I'd watch Alien. I wouldn't bother with this.
That's true. She's in her panties in that one. So,
but this whole scene, like when the face comes through the door, it's so cool. Like it's actually like there's just a glimpse of a horror movie. It's got like a poltergeist sort of vibe to it.
yeah. So fun fact with that, like they did the same thing with that in the in Friday the 13th, not Friday, in A Nightmare on Elm Street when Freddy like pokes his head through there. Apparently that's just like super taut rubber. Like it makes it look like it's a door, but it really is just like rubber, so you can just fuck with it and do that, and it makes it look all demony. So yeah, that's actually really bitching how they do that.
God, I'd forgotten that. That is the best shot from that movie when like Freddy like stretches through the wall.
Mm-hmm. And it's just again, it's a real testament to like what they could do before they had computers to do everything for them.
It really is like the stuff they manage in this movie, considering that there's no CGI in this. This is like camera trickery and optical effects and actual puppets. It's amazing. What was Brightburn saying? I saw Patrick Swayze in Ghost before I saw him in Roadhouse, and I remember him annoying Whoopi Goldberg by singing "I am Henry VIII, I am."
I think he's actually pretty good.
Yeah, like Ghost is probably the only Swayze movie that I'm like, oh yeah, I like that movie. Like, I'll admit I haven't seen Dirty Dancing because I just kind of assumed I wasn't going to be into it.
Yeah, there's no real reason to watch Dirty Dancing, at least unless you're a woman, because it's very much a chick flick. But I'm also gonna say that it's also even today, it's kind of creepy because the dude is like in a 30-year-old man and he's going after like a 16-year-old girl. I'm like,
yeah. That's
it's very much a weird. It's very much a weird thing that was of its time.
Yeah, I like there are plenty of like chick flicks that I've seen that I think this is a great movie, but I've got no interest in dancing movies. Like I think I've seen one dancing movie ever. Like it's just not my style.
I don't know. I feel like Dirty Dancing is very much like it's kind of like a live action Harlequin novel.
Okay, yeah.
That's why I say if it's nothing against if a guy likes a chick flick, whatever, man. But what I'm saying is that one is very much like it's not meant for you to just be like, oh, this is an interesting movie. No, it's like masturbatory aid.
I love this sequence when Rick Moranis is being chased by the dog. Like I like when he gets cornered at that restaurant, which we're going to see in a minute, and no one does anything.
Yeah, no, they just kind of like I like how they just look at him and they just go about their day.
It's like it's New York for you.
I honestly wonder. I've never been to New York, but I wonder if that would happen. Like, some shit like this goes on, and then everyone just kind of like, oh well, it's New York. We've seen everything here. It's like I seem to remember, isn't there like a little girl that like just waves at him or some shit?
I think you might be right.
Like I seem to recall there's like a little girl who's just like sitting there, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay, yeah, no, maybe I was wrong.
But I think one of the things that I like about it is that it is like a comedy scene, but that character is legitimately terrified. Like, he is scared for his life, and we're yucking it up while he's like presumably dying.
Yeah, no, like he's getting possessed by like a demon dog, and we're all just, oh, Rick Moranis, what a goof.
You're such a funny nerd, Rick Moranis.
Also,
Your
like
little
Honey, I
nerd
Shrunk the
brother.
Kids. Like, I don't know if you ever saw that movie, but Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is a pretty
Oh
good one.
yeah,
He's like, yeah, plays a scientist, and like, yeah, the kid's going on this crazy adventure.
yeah. That's another movie that, like, again, the effects and stuff in it, like, but when they are in the tiny world, like, and you've got like giant ants and that sort of stuff, bits of that were scary to me. I thought the giant ants that they make friends with was terrifying when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, no, like seeing giant spiders would be terrifying. Like giant bugs in general would.
Yeah.
Okay, so the one part of the movie that makes Bill Murray somewhat redeemable is that the one time she's actually like down to fuck him, he's like, nope, can't do this. Nope.
Yeah. You're very much right. That does show that, like, Peter Venkman isn't a complete slime ball.
Yeah, like he's not gonna take advantage of her just because a possessed ghost wants to do it with him. He's gonna be like, no, I want her to do it.
Yeah, and he doesn't know what kind of like ghost STI he might pick up.
Ooh, yeah, no, get like Spectre herpes.
This bit's so cool. Oh, hey there. Is that Igor?
Yes, indeed. No, it's pronounced Igor.
Oh, Igor. All right.
They told me it was Igor. Well, they were wrong then, weren't they? I love that movie.
Young Frankenstein?
Yes, Young Frankenstein. We also have another dog named, well, my brother's dog, but his chihuahua was named Frankenstein.
Oh, nice. Okay, I appreciate that.
Let's see. You won't believe the story I heard in high school. There was a teenage girl named Melanie, and she was dating a 21-year-old man. Her friend's teacher saying he's a little old for you. You know, that's not so much. I'm sure you know what? I do believe that, because that's a fucked up thing that happens a lot these days.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you do get shit like that. Just, I mean, yeah, like no, it's like,
yeah, no, not to be that creep, but when I was a lifeguard, I knew one of our other fellow lifeguards who was 23, and he was dating another chick who was 16, and again, also a lifeguard. So it's not great, yeah, but it does happen. So
yeah, like I not naming any names, but they're not like my friends, but I got acquaintances, like someone I sort of know who's like, I think it was that he met his current girlfriend when he was 16 and she was 32.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
I mean, lucky you, I guess, but like, ooh.
Well, I mean, and the guy's like in his 20s now, and I'm like, hey, bruh, you shouldn't have a girlfriend who's pushing 40. You should probably have a girlfriend your own age, my guy.
It's like, yeah, it's not great. Yeah. Let's move on to another topic, eh, Brightburn?
like this whole thing of the terrifying Sigourney Weaver then like levitating over the bed.
This is a pretty cool thing. I feel like there's probably like some like magician trickery going on here, like she's on a forklift or something behind her. But yeah, I'm honestly wondering how they do this.
This is a David Copperfield trick, I think, isn't it? Like they just stole
something like that. It's like the dress is very much covering up the mechanism.
But it's pretty, like, the fact that they keep it on that one shot, like, and they just let you see the entire thing, just sort of adds that believability to it. And again, like, for the time they were doing it, this took so much work. Especially when you consider that, like, these are guys who, like, they were on SNL. They were on a show that was live. You know, the sets are, like, made a couple of days before. They're, like, out of cardboard. You know, SNL's not bad, but it's not a big movie. And then they go from that to this incredibly effects-heavy movie.
It's kind of and it's, like, made their career, honestly. Like, this is, like, yeah. No, it's incredible. I love this. He goes and talks to the horse. I feel like this is the one thing I'm going to say is different, is that when you watch it, so they also have the gatekeeper and the keymaster in Afterlife. So, but in that one, they do it much more, like, they do have a part where what's his name? Ant-Man. Fucking
Yeah, Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd. He's running. He's doing the exact same thing. He's running away from a dog, but they do it a little more like scary and a little less funny. Like I feel like they don't. It doesn't have that same Rick Moranis like, oh god, like him being all weird about it.
Yeah, which I think is a good thing. Like they do get some comedy in that, which I think is good. Like, because isn't it? Yeah, like Paul Rudd is like the Rick Moranis one, isn't he? In that, and like I think they do an okay job. It does have a bit of that. What's the thing I'm thinking of? The Force Awakens sort of syndrome, where it's like it's not really a remake, but it kind of is almost a remake of the first movie. They do the same stuff in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think it's a good movie overall, but yeah, like even with the ghost they find, the one that's not Slimer, but he's blue and he basically is Slimer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one that's like eating metal and shit and like spits out the metal and like is like bullets and shit. I know what you're talking about. Do you feel like the director of Ghostbusters was looking at The Exorcist when they shot the levitation scene? Because Exorcist it was 1973 and this was 1984. I could definitely believe it.
Yeah, I
would.
think you're absolutely right.
And that's another movie that is like technically brilliant as far as like the crazy shit that they did to scare people. So I would absolutely believe if you're gonna make like a ghost movie, look at that kind of stuff first. If you're gonna look at like if you're gonna make a body horror film, you're gonna need to be looking at The Thing, you know?
Oh yeah. I love this whole thing here. This whole thing is cool. One of the things I like about Dan Aykroyd and like how he's so into paranormal stuff is that when he writes paranormal things, he's filling it with so much weird shit that like you could watch this and be like, oh, this is all just made up for this movie. And some of it will be, but some of it's also like legit like conspiracy theories and people's like ideas about ghosts and demons and stuff. It's so cool.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I didn't actually know that. That's cool.
And I love like I love when they show the like monitor they've hooked him up to, and it shows the dog's head.
Mm. Oh yeah, no, you're right. The infrared thing of like when he turns his head, it's the actual dog. That is fucking cool.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what the hell is the point of showing all of her clothes being like thrown around the room? Like what is this?
Yeah, I don't know whether it's like I don't know whether it's the idea that she trashed the room beforehand, or like maybe she sort of fought him while he was trying to restrain her or something.
Like maybe I don't know. Yeah, that's it. I would love to see what happened in between like her levitating and him making that phone call.
Yeah, what's going on there? I like that like the Rick Moranis monster. It's just kind of like a weird guy, sort of nice. So like it just keeps handing Egon things.
Okay, never mind. I thought that would look cooler if I had that in the middle and you looking this way, but never mind.
Yeah. So yeah, I've got my movie up on a monitor up here, so I just keep going back to watch the movie.
Yeah, no, I know, I got you. I mean,
oh yeah, and this weird conversation with Ray and Winston, where they like discuss the Book of Revelations. Jesus. Yeah.
It's another one of those examples of like Ernie Hudson just kind of feels like he just didn't really get very much screen time or really anything. Like, his character doesn't have a whole lot of substance.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that they even bothered to put in a fourth character.
I'm telling you, man, that diversity hire. gotta make it. Gotta let everyone know.
The sky's fair. Yeah, this is I'll harp on about this. My love for Ghostbusters 2 is similar to my love for Temple of Doom. I know loads of people don't agree with me, but like Ghostbusters 2 is one of my favorites. And part of it is I think you get more interesting stuff. Like I think the ghosts are better in Ghostbusters 2. And like
the ectoplasm like river, like that pink ecto slime shit is kind of cool.
Yeah, I think Winston gets to do more. Like, I love the ghost train that turns up, like how freaky that is. And he's there through the whole movie instead of like only turning up halfway through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, the Ghostbusters definitely does. He tried to do a little bit more. Like I think Harold Ramis tried to do a little more with it, and like tried to expand it. Like the character of Winston tried to expand like the lore of Ghost and like the rules of the universe. But yeah, for some reason, people just didn't really respond to it very well.
Since Bradburn, you said, was it? I heard people hate The Exorcist Believer just as much as folks hate Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. I'll admit, I haven't seen any of those. I think part of the issue though is that like we've had this thing of making new installments to these movies decades later, and I feel like if you like the old movies, they're never going to make a movie that feels like that old movie again. Like they're never going to make a movie that feels like Halloween again because we don't make movies like we used to back when that movie came out. Like it's always going to feel different, and I think you're always going to disappoint people who love the original.
Yeah, see, if you want to make a movie that feels like something that came from like the 1980s or the 1990s, then you have to limit yourself to the technology of the time. Like you have to limit yourself to whatever they had on hand, like whatever they could have used, because that's what they had to do. Like at this point, we've been talking about it so much about how like all the technical effects of this, and it's because they didn't have CGI to rely on. They had to do this. That they had to jury rig and figure it out. So like if you're gonna do this kind of stuff and have it feel the same way, you have to do that in that same way with the same amount of like resources that they had, because that's what allows you to have that kind of creativity and that kind of like new way of thinking about how we're gonna do this.
Yeah, and like Ghostbusters Afterlife does things where they use some of the old techniques and then they like enhance them with CGI so they can do more. So like they get the dogs back, they still have a puppet, like, and you can see it's a puppet in some shots. But then when they make the CGI, they make it move like an animatronic, a bit like they do in like I think the Mandalorian with Grogu. Grogu, like a lot of the time, is CGI, but they still make him move like he's an animatronic puppet.
If he does that again, you can shoot him. No, he can't. What is this, 2024?
Yeah, if you drop an acorn next to him, you can shoot him.
Dude, straight the fuck up. Fucking cops, man. See, Ernie Hudson was great in The Crow, and his response to them making a Crow remake was very polite. He knew he couldn't trash it like the original Crow director. I mean, it's kind of petty to be like, I did it better in my day. He's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I think it's a bit weird to like have a go at people for like trying to do something again. Like maybe it won't be the same, but again, like as long as you're not setting out to make the same movie, like I think that's a good thing. It's like why I didn't hate the idea of Ghostbusters 2016 on its own. I just don't think the movie worked. Like, but the idea of remaking the movie and having like an all-female cast, I'm like, that's fine. I'll be interested to see what you do. Unfortunately, I don't think they made a good movie. So like,
I just think it. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm wanting for the Crow to be a good movie, the new Crow. But sorry, what were you going to say, Gibbs?
I just think it's petty. If you're like the original creator, like if the original creator of The Exorcist were to come up and be like, "Oh, The Exorcist believer, boo!" Like my movie was much better. I'm like, yeah, of course it was, but that's beside the point, dude. They're trying to do something like their own take on it. It's like whether it's better or worse. You don't have to trash it, being like, "Well, I was a better fucking director." I was like, dude, shut up. You just sound like an asshole.
Yeah, and like the older I get, the more I have to understand that you can't destroy the old movie by making a new movie. People get that, like,
exactly.
they've done it with Star Wars for years. Back from the prequels, people were saying that they've ruined Star Wars. Now, like, no, the movies you like are still the movies you like. It's fine.
Oh God, I love this. Your mother. It's like, I love how his response is "your mother." Your mother, and then he tries to fight. Oh my God, it's the best.
Yeah,
it's the funniest. I feel like it's not intended to be funny, but it totally is.
Things are bad when Egon's ready to start laying hands on people.
Right. I mean, he told him though. He told him not to turn off the machine because it's going to cause an explosion, and do exactly what it did.
I have heard some things that apparently the machine, if you were to make something like that in real life, like a laser grid thing, apparently it was legit very dangerous what they made. Like all of the stuff they have is super dangerous, like the proton packs. Like there's that scene in the elevator where they say they're wearing nuclear accelerators on their back. It is pretty dangerous.
Like if that thing were to get hit with like let's just say a bullet were to get shot at them and like a stray round were to hit their backpack, that probably would cause a nuclear explosion in New York. Like most likely. But so yeah, I'm not saying that they're not, it's not like they're handling very like dangerous technology that they probably shouldn't be handling. But just the same though, like, you know, it's not like the guy doesn't know how dangerous, like Egon, he definitely knows how dangerous his technology is. He's just like a little more okay with using it.
Yeah, he's like, it'll be fine.
It's like, just don't cross the streams.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
It's like, listen to a very simple rule. Oh boy, here it comes.
This is, this whole thing where the entire side of this apartment blows up is pretty sweet.
So, all right. So I don't know how to feel about this next part because, like, you know, like again, we mentioned how Bill Murray decided not to do it. Like, because they're both right now, they're both possessed. Does that make it okay? What happens next between the two of them? Like, it was out of their control. Because my comment was going to be good for Rick Moranis that his character, he wants to have sex with Sigourney Weaver the whole time, and he kind of gets to it roundaboutly. But I'm like, again, does that make it okay because the two of them were like possessed and didn't know what was going on?
I suppose it's the same issue with Wonder Woman 84, isn't it? Like,
that's what I was going to say. I was going to bring that up. I'm like, everyone had a problem with that, but no one ever seems to bring up this part.
Yeah, but at least they're both possessed, so like it's not like one person is taking advantage of the other.
Yeah, they're if anything, the ghosts are taking advantage of both of them.
Yeah, I think that's it. So like, it's not good, but it's ghosts. So what are we gonna do? Like they're interdimensional demons or whatever. Like, what, we're gonna cancel them? Like they're evil. That's like their whole bag. They're here to destroy the world. Like least of their crimes.
That's an excellent point. I guess I can't fault them. Brightburn says, I mean, it's only acceptable in Hollywood to trash a film if it was a failure, hence Stallone trashing Rocky V, which he did not direct. Yeah, well.
Yeah. Oh, Stallone, what, you mean your punching movie was better than this punching movie? My God. All right.
Yeah, I think, honestly, Rocky wasn't, after Rocky 2, it stopped being good. Maybe Rocky 3, but even then.
See, like, I feel about Rocky similarly to how I feel about Dirty Dancing. Like, I don't really care about watching a dancing movie. I don't really care about watching a boxing movie. I'm like, I wouldn't watch a boxing match, like, in real life. I'm not going to watch a movie about a fake boxing match.
Fair enough.
Although, to be fair, sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes sports movies are great. They did like a weird British remake of The Longest Yard. With Vinnie Jones called Mean Machine. It's pretty sweet. I like that movie.
Nice. Yeah, they also made an American remake of The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler.
I did see that. Not as good, I think, in my opinion.
I prefer the Burt Reynolds one.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen the Burt Reynolds one. But because I got really confused. So I saw this British remake where it's soccer instead of American football, and but it's still in a prison and all that sort of stuff. And then I saw the Adam Sandler Longest Yard, and I was like, "This is Mean Machine. What the hell?" And I was like, legit, like, they remade this British movie. Oh, Americans don't know how to remake movies. And then I discovered I was an asshole.
Yeah, I love that idea though. That it's like that's kind of cool that they made it. That they love that idea so much. They're like, dude, we could do that with football, with the other football, with the real football,
with the real football.
Oh, dude. I mean, if you're gonna have sex with Sigourney Weaver, this is the place to do it. On that chair in a half blown out fucking apartment building on like the 20th floor.
It's gonna be cold up there, man.
Like... I mean, we'll make it warm. Oh man. I mean, Hulk Hogan tossing Stallone around as a ragdoll is pretty good. If you say so. But again, good for Rick Moranis. He got to actually kiss Sigourney Weaver in this.
I suppose, yeah, when is actual Rick Moranis going to get to kiss Sigourney Weaver? Right?
Turns out they actually had an affair.
I want Rick Moranis to come back. Like,
is he still alive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Rick Moranis is still alive.
Okay, I hope so. Yeah, like I don't think he died, but I'm like I don't know.
I know why he stopped. He stopped acting because his wife died.
Oh, that's right. He had kids. He was like a
Yeah,
single dad.
yeah. So he stopped to raise his kids. But I'm like, come on, your kids are gonna be old enough now. Come back, Rick. Like,
Do some more stuff. Come on. Oh, this is awesome. I love this is the best part. I've mentioned it before. We everything was fine until Dickless shut us down. Oh man, it's so good.
is it this movie or is it the other one where like the mayor's like, I had a conversation with this guy for 2 hours last night. He's been dead for 200 years.
This man has no dick. And he tries to. Well, that's just what I heard. Oh, it's so good. See, you know you're important when like the mayor, the fucking fire chief, the fucking like I don't even know like the archbishop or whatever the hell. Like when when all the higher ups are wanting to talk to you, you know you're fucking important.
Rick Moranis is still alive. Did you remember it happened a couple of years ago where someone knocked him out on the street?
I did not remember that. What happened?
It was like some dude who was like, I think they would call it knockout game or something, when you just punch random people and film it. And they did it, and they didn't know who it was, and it just happened to be Rick Moranis, who's like walking in New York, and some guys lamped him.
It's like that guy looks weak, and like I could knock him out in one punch. And then he fucking knocked out Rick Moranis. Jesus Christ! How much of an asshole do you feel like? Oh, that's right. I forgot he was in Strange Brew.
Yeah.
Go away. I think or take off. I think she likes me. Such a good movie, dude. Rick Moranis is a treasure.
But he really is. I love Rick Moranis so much. He had this weird thing where he keeps making albums. Like when he wasn't acting, he was making music, and like these weird like Jewish country albums.
I did not know that. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it was like a weird thing he got into for a while. It's like I remember checking out his albums on Spotify.
Nice. I love how like just completely like this is actually pretty like honestly the right answer. So if I'm wrong, nothing happens. We go to jail. You can arrest us. Fuck it. And if we're right, well then we save the day. And I'm like, that's exactly how that would go.
Yeah.
And if we're right, you get reelected. Fucking.
Like that actor was it? Brightbow was saying, "Do you ever watch Die Hard 1 and 2 and imagine that Holly Gennaro is punching Dickless?" That actor is incredible at playing someone you hate. Like he's so good at playing an asshole.
Yeah, and I feel bad for that actor because then it's probably what he's always been. Because I haven't seen him in a whole lot of stuff, and I bet you it's because he's typecast as the asshole.
I think so. Yeah, he was just too good at it, and now like every movie, hey, we need an asshole. Get that redheaded prick from over there, the one with no dick.
Get Dickless on the phone. I'm pretty sure that's illegal. So I know for the movie that's okay, but I'm pretty sure it's illegal nowadays to put blue lights on your vehicle, or it might be red lights. Because yeah, like doing that is like it's those are like only for emergency vehicles.
I mean that makes sense, and it is kind of crazy that they like just have a siren and like flashing lights, and they're exterminators. Like right? They're just ghost exterminators. Like Rent-A-Kill doesn't turn up with flashing lights.
Cool as that would be, call someone for a cockroach problem. They come busting down the street in a fucking hearse. There is really good music in this.
There's some music in this movie that people like don't remember as much. Like, this is not really one of the stronger tracks, I think, in this movie.
It's not terrible, okay, but yeah.
But like this one's a bit like shitty 80s pop music.
Fucking Bill Murray. I love how how randomly like famous they just became. Like they trashed a hotel. They like I don't know. Maybe they showed like a little bit more of other stuff they were doing, but like all they really did was trash one hotel, and then they unleashed a bunch of ghosts. Oh, I guess yeah, that was them catching ghosts. And okay, but yeah, like I just love how like famous they became from like from one thing. They didn't really show us a whole lot of what their other job were.
Oh, Brightbird has just mentioned the NES Ghostbusters. Yes, the NES Ghostbusters was truly dog awful.
I remember
Like,
you playing that for a while.
it was it. Yeah, it's pretty harsh, and like the the end of the game is like a poorly translated black screen that says "A winner is you." That's it. Like it's awful. They made a Mega Drive game. Oh, sorry, Sega Genesis for our North American viewers. Um, Game of Ghostbusters. There was a lot better. That was way better than the NES one. But
I
like
think they
weirdly,
made.
you can't play as Winston in it. Like you get to choose which Ghostbuster you are, but Winston isn't an option.
Is that surprising to you?
Yeah, unfortunately not.
I think they made a 2000s an Xbox game, like a Ghostbusters game. I think it was a first person one, and that didn't do very well.
Yeah, what was the one that? Because the one that came out on 360 did really well, didn't it? Like people really liked that one.
Yeah, here, let me see. Ghostbusters game.
Which I think was literally just Ghostbusters the video game. I think.
I think you're right. Yeah, 2009 Ghostbusters the video game. Apparently, they also had a mobile game. Like they had a couple of Game Boy games. I remember there was the real Ghostbusters 1993 Game Boy game. Apparently there was an Extreme Ghostbusters series, but I've never heard of that.
You ever see this? Oh, Extreme Ghostbusters was tight. I loved it. Like Extreme Ghostbusters, like was it? That was like a sequel to the real Ghostbusters. They made it in the '90s. So like I like it. It's like a slightly edgier Ghostbusters. It's got a cool goth chick in it. A Hispanic man for you there, Gilbert. I'm sure you'll feel better with that.
I vaguely remember. I don't know. I think I vaguely remember. Yeah, there being like she had like blue hair, if I remember right. Or
yeah.
Who am I? Okay, yeah, I think I do remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, it was, and like Egon was the only returning Ghostbuster. Like it's like all the other Ghostbusters left, and Egon's still like living in the firehouse. And he
right.
Gets
and then you got a bunch of kids like to join up, and then that was the Extreme Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Now they skateboard or something.
Well, one of them's in a wheelchair, but he's in a wheelchair, but he does extreme sports. There's like an episode where he's like base jumping off of buildings and stuff.
I mean, that's pretty extreme, man. I don't know if you've ever seen that. I have seen dudes in wheelchairs doing like backflips and shit off of like half pipes. It's kind of cool to watch.
Oh damn, that's cool.
Fuck that, dude! Running up 20 stories with those heavy ass backpacks on your back. Oh my god.
Yeah, that sucks. And then like you have to fight a god at the end of it.
Oh man, that's a great part too. Are you a god? No.
Right. Next time someone asks you a god, you say yes.
And I like how they did bring reference to that in Afterlife. It's like, yeah, I'm a god. He's a god. We're all gods.
I don't know if I'm thinking too much into this, but is that tricycle? Is that a Shining reference?
That very well may have been a Shining reference. I don't know.
Yeah, it might also just have been a tricycle, but like that's
like, why is there a tricycle in the hallway of this building?
Yeah, that's where I go to. It's like, The Shining. Oh, more stairs? Great.
Dude, seriously, fuck all of that. I really hope those things aren't. No,
sorry, yeah.
I really hope those backpacks are just made of like plastic or made of like paper mache or something, because that would suck.
I feel like the actual ones the actors are wearing have got to be. I would love to have one. Like, I bet there's somebody out there like making like recreations of the proton packs. I would love to have like a full on like proper cosplay proton pack. That'd be so fucking tight.
Yeah, no, that'd be fucking cool. And as it turns out, on Hasbro Pulse for the Oh no, actually, all right. There's a prototype that's being shipped. All right, never mind. It's a crowdfunded thing. But I was gonna say
Okay.
they did. Hasbro did make a proton pack that you can wear.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Like they have a bunch of those. Like you can look on Etsy. They have a bunch that you can like order from someone.
Yeah, because I've had like toy ones like from way back in the day, like from the cartoon. But I'd love like a movie accurate proton pack. Would be so cool.
Mm-hmm. Like yeah, that'd be cool, dude. There's all kinds of. You need to get in touch with like some Ghostbusters like cosplay groups, man. They'll be able to set you up.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah, maybe there are groups out like the 501st, but it's just for Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, no,
cool.
there are. Like there absolutely, at least in America, there are. I don't know about the UK, but there absolutely are in America. Like every Comic-Con, there's always some motherfucker. There's like some dude and like his kids are there with a booth, and they're all sitting there like, all right, guys, we're gonna do a little thing with like the kids here. We're gonna make some ectoplasm, or we're gonna do this. Like they have this giant like trash can that they hit, and like a puff of smoke comes out. I don't know if you ever did that. Like,
yeah, I've seen those things. Yeah.
yeah, so they do stuff like that, like, and they're always wearing like proton packs and like the jumpsuits. And one little kid, tiny little like 3-year-old, has the thing Venkman on it. It's like,
oh, Brightburn's got an interesting question. Would you rather be a Ghostbuster or part of the Bat family?
Bat family, fucking done. Bat family, right then and there. I'd be rich. I'd have access to all the cool gadgets. And then I'm like, I could build myself a proton pack for if I was a part of the Bat family.
That's true, actually. Yeah, yeah. I'd probably say Ghostbusters, but like, it would be hard to turn down all the money that you'd have as part of the Bat family.
Like, it'd be cool to pal around with the Ghostbusters, but yeah, as soon as I had to deal with this thing, I'm like, fuck all of that.
I think that's the thing. Like with Batman, like, if you're part of the Bat family, you're in constant danger. You're fighting actual criminals who could kill you. Like, whereas the Ghostbusters, it's pretty fine most of the time, but every now and then you have to deal with an actual demon that can kill you.
Yeah, like most of the time it's like you're taking on like librarian ghosts or like Slimer, but the rest of the time it's this crap. And I'm like, I don't. All it takes is once.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
Before you have to fight the fucking Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. But yeah, no. So I'm gonna definitely say the Bat family, because yes, you have to deal with criminals and like and supervillains and shit, but you're also trained by Batman. So like you have like the best gadgets and the best training to save you.
Do you know what? That sounds like a lot of work. I feel like Ghostbuster training isn't that bad. like Ghostbuster training is like,
because Ghostbuster training is, oh, you want the job? Well, come on in. Here's your proton pack.
Yeah, like it's about as easy to like become a Ghostbuster as it is to start selling Avon.
Like pretty much, dude. And that's cool. That's great that it's like any idiot can do it. But I'm like, I don't know, man. It seems pretty dangerous to just give any asshole a fucking a nuclear bomb. I'm doing my part.
Goes the Gozerian with them heels. Look at them heels.
That's gotta suck. Actually, I doubt that they actually had the chick or female. I doubt they actually had the person fucking land on those heels. But dude, that would suck so bad to actually try that.
Yeah, no. Like that can't be a fun job. I think as well, like, one of the things that I'd like about being a Ghostbuster is that there's only one solution to all Ghostbuster things. like every time it's like, oh my god, what are we going to do? It's like, shoot it with the gun, man. Like, we have the ghost guns. Just shoot that with them. Like, just...
And yeah, you might pull a Jason, Joker might pull a Jason Todd on you. You might come back years later as the Red Hood. Say less. It's like, I will gladly come back years later as the Red Hood. He's like easily the coolest one.
Yeah.
Oh man,
the Bat family is hard to turn down, but I got to stay on brand. I got to go with Ghostbusters. I'll be a Ghostbuster.
Fair enough.
I'll work a minimum
it makes
wage
me feel
job.
good. I mean, I guess if the worst you got to deal with, I guess, is a Marshmallow Man, so be it. The Joker is legitimately terrifying.
Yeah, yeah, you know, whereas like if I just turn up and like, what's that? Ah, we've got this thing that's like rearranging all the cans in our pantry. All right, like cool, whatever. I'll shoot it.
Hmm. Dude, just by saying J. Edgar Hoover, someone would like, you know, like if I tell you, don't think of an elephant with pink spots. The first thing that pops in your head.
That's the thing. Yeah, when he does the like, don't think of anything, I'm like, I don't think I can manage to not think of anything. And like,
Yeah, no,
even then, what if then like just everything faded to nothing, like the nothing in Never Ending Story, like if that just started happening.
what if like a black hole pops up, like nothing, and just like a black abyss just kind of come? Like that would be terrifying.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah, no.
if you were trying to do what Ray thinks, though, you were trying to think of something that couldn't hurt anybody. What would you think of?
If I'm trying to think of something that couldn't hurt anyone, a giant Care Bear, just a Care
Maybe,
Bear, a Care Bear. Because I'm like, you know what? How scary is that going to be? Or like a volleyball. I don't know. Something's like what could really happen with a giant volleyball?
I know this is mean, but a little thing in my head went, oh, the most non-threatening thing I think of. What, Peaky, maybe?
I do like though the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is like that is the most ridiculous thing. Like, and really, like I feel like the army could probably take care of this.
Yeah, because like they shoot it with the proton blast, and it sets on fire and starts to melt. Presumably, you could just do something like that. You could just carve up the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and it'd be fine.
Yeah, they're running away like it's the Cloverfield monster, and I'm like, dude, it's literally just a Marshmallow Man. Like,
Yeah, maybe like a
oh
flower,
shit, dude, you start
maybe a
eating
bit of
it.
grass or something. Like just cover New York
Yeah.
City in grass or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I would think to go to like a cartoon character, like something that is like who could be like the least harmful.
Oh
But then you get,
no, New York would be destroyed by SpongeBob.
I mean, or like, well, I was gonna say underdog, but that'd be a bad idea. That guy has
Oh yeah,
superpowers.
yeah, yeah. He'd mess up everyone's shit.
Mother puss bucket. Although seriously, I start like I feel like a Marshmallow Man. I'd want to start eating it. Like I know it's shaving cream at the end when all the marshmallow bits start raining down, but I'm like I'd be sitting there like, oh fuck yeah, dude, marshmallow.
Yeah, like isn't that they destroy the Marshmallow Man, and then like suddenly there's a huge outbreak of diabetes like in New York because there are people who
I
had to
mean,
eat their way out of the Marshmallow Man.
yeah, straight up, man. Or like the rats of New York just come out of the woodwork to eat that shit.
It's just like yeah. And latest news: Fifth Street is still sticky.
It's fucking asshole. It's like he's a sailor. He's all right. We get this guy laid. He'll be all right. It's like, God damn it, Bill. Oh shit. What's up, babe? Cross the streams.
The nice lady who paid us in advance before she became a dog.
Oh man, just yeah. I've said it a million times already, but makes the comedy of this movie Bill Murray. 11. Jesus Christ, he's only getting paid $11,500 a year, and even in '80s money,
Wow.
fuck.
Yeah. Wow. It
There's
is a
not
minimum
enough.
wage job where you have to save the world. Like,
Oof. Dude, I
I
wouldn't
also
clean
like that.
toilets for a fucking. Now what?
I was just thinking, but like, not all of them turn their proton blasters on straight away. Like Ray, Winston, and Egon like keep theirs off for a while. And I kind of like this. Winston's like, I'm not sure I'm going to do this, man. This doesn't seem worth it. Right?
Seems like a
They should
bad
be
idea.
dead, right?
Oh,
Like,
they'd be totally dead.
yeah, they're dead.
That explosion would even if the explosion didn't kill them, it would blow them off the fucking roof. Then they'd be dead.
Yeah, yeah. Like, not to talk about a sensitive subject, but New York saw some things that weren't as big as that explosion, and an awful lot of people died.
Yeah, no, and like well, I doubt the marshmallow would, but like that explosion would probably cause at least a little bit of that building to come tumbling down.
Yeah, that's to be honest. Like the marshmallow, probably like if you think about how much marshmallow it is, it's like the thing, like if a swimming pool's worth of water just fell on you, it would crush you because it's a huge amount of water, like from
Or
that height as
yeah.
well.
Oh, that's a good point. Probably, at the very least, it would knock you down and probably like you'd be like breathing in marshmallow bits for a minute.
Yeah. Apparently, one of like the extras or something, like when they show the scenes of the street where the marshmallow falls on, apparently someone was like super allergic to the shaving cream,
Oh shit,
like just like
that
blew
was
up.
Also, just this entire I can't imagine how shitty this had to have been for like a bunch of like PAs to be sitting there spraying it down with like Barbasol or some shit.
Yeah, I noticed that Bill Murray didn't have much on him. I feel like Bill was like, I am the
That was a
star of this
decision.
movie.
It's like, God damn it, I have been making everyone laugh this entire time. You're not covering me in fucking shaving cream. And then like at the last minute, someone just came up and sprayed his head.
Yeah, just like you got to have some, Bill. You can't do none of it.
But yeah, no, that's fucking funny. I didn't realize that before. That yeah, he's barely covered in it at all.
Yeah, whereas like Dan Aykroyd, like his whole mouth is covered up with it.
Oh, there she comes. I wonder what this is made of. Like what this, like the thing that she's in right now is made of.
I haven't spoken
Like
at all yet about how the original idea with like Ghostbusters was it was supposed to be John Belushi.
Oh no
Like
shit.
originally it was going to be like sort of similar to Blues Brothers. It was going to be Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi as like the two stars of it. And I'd be interested to see what that movie was like what that would have been if he'd been around for it.
I feel like, well, I don't know, because I feel like it would have been the same thing. Like we would have still had John Belushi being the funny guy in Dan, or not Dana, in Bill Murray's place, but we might have just gotten different deliveries for the lines. But otherwise, yeah, no, it was like that would have been an interesting thing. Like if we had fucking John Belushi as Venkman.
Yeah. Also, apparently, there's a story that so Slimer, as we now know him, originally the ghost was called Onion Head, and supposedly a guy designed him, made the rubber like suit prop thing, like set it up, and then supposedly some producer or something turned up and said, "Could you make it look like John Belushi?" Because they got this idea of wouldn't it be funny if it was the ghost of John Belushi. Apparently, the guy did nothing. He just told them he would. He went, yeah, sure, I'll do that. Made no changes to it. Kept it exactly the same. They came back and they were like, "It's perfect. It's amazing. How'd you get it to look so much like him?"
It's ridiculous. See, I mean, when I think of nothing, I usually imagine an '80s era tube television set that is just like the white noise, like that crap. Okay.
Yeah. Even then, though, like if it started spreading across the city and everything became static, like I feel that they could take anything. Like Gozer could presumably take anything and destroy the world with it, or at least a city block with it.
Well, guys, that's the end of the movie, but I'm going to sit here and rock out to this fucking song. This is like the best. This is like probably the best fucking theme song to anything. Like I don't know. Anytime I hear this song, I'm just like, fuck yeah.
I had a friend who didn't know that this song was made for this movie, and he was like, "So they just find a movie called Ghostbusters and just like find a song called Ghostbusters and put it in the movie." I'm like, "No, my guy, like no."
They hired this guy to make it for them. Oh, you know what? Actually, someday we're gonna watch Ghostbusters 2 because Rick Moranis totally gets fucking redeemed. He becomes like a Ghostbuster himself. Doesn't really do much in it, but he tries.
Yeah, he does try. Like, and he's a lawyer in that movie as well. Everyone changes jobs between those movies. Like, Dana becomes an art restorer. He goes from being an accountant to being their lawyer. Like, I really defend that movie. I think the ghosts are better. I think the effects are more interesting. Like, I think they're scarier. Like, this movie is great. Like don't get me wrong, but I wish there were more ghosts in it.
True. Yeah, and I think it's just because they were.
Into the second movie as well.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's a really small part, but Cheech is there.
But yeah, I think that the reason that they have that this was like it's iconic, but it was also their first attempt at like trying to do this, and they didn't know if it was going to work or not. When they got to the second one, they're like, okay, now let's fucking do some other shit. Let's do like something different.
And they did some amazing stuff. Like
what?
Ghostbusters has some of the most iconic stuff in it. Like the Ghostbusters logo is super iconic and is everywhere, and there's so much merch with that logo on. The Ecto-1 looks amazing. The design of this movie is just impeccable. Like it's crazy how a stupid little comedy like this got so big.
It has like almost Star Trek or like Star Wars level of like fandom and like devotion.
Yeah.
And which is surprising considering it doesn't have very much. Like there's like the movies, there's the couple of cartoons that we talked about, and like that's it. So yeah, there's these two movies, the two original ones. There's the 2016 one, and then there's these two new ones. There's 5 movies and then the 2 cartoons, and yet it has an insane fandom that just loves it to death. So
yeah, no, it was they really like stumbled across like something incredible when they made this movie.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'll move that later. But yeah, great movie, awesome time, and it was fun talking about it for the last hour and a half, hour 45. 5 years later, though, Harrison, do you have the same job you had 5 years ago? I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, no, I don't. But like, it's not like. I think the thing that I've got is that they go from like entire different industries. Like, I feel like the leap from like going to I'm a professional cello player to I restore like art in a museum. Like,
doesn't make sense.
I'm not sure you can get the experience needed to restore art in 5 years. Like, that feels like a real hardcore like thing you have to learn.
Like you had to go to college for that shit.
Yeah, it's not like, oh yeah, I used to work on the phones in the call center and now I do the admin. Like, it's not the same.
Yeah, no,
but
you're
I
absolutely
get your point, right, bud.
But all right, so Harrison, does the movie still hold up for you the way like all these years later? Actually, when was the first time you saw this movie? Do you think?
It would have been. I mean, it was possibly the first time I seen it would have been in the 90s because like my brother really loved Ghostbusters, still really loves Ghostbusters, and really loved the cartoon, and so like we were both really into the cartoon, so we ended up seeing the movie. Well, I did. Yeah, I think it happens sometimes when you got an older sibling and they can watch movies that are a bit too old for you, and because you're around, it means you get to watch them as well. So yeah, it's probably sometime in the 90s that I saw this movie.
Interesting. Yeah, for me, it's probably gonna be the 2000s because that's when I probably first remember watching it. It's like 2001 or maybe 2. But yeah, no, this movie it still holds up to this day. It is one of the greatest comedies of the 80s, and it's iconic for like we mentioned before that for the vast majority of people, when you think Bill Murray, you think Ghostbusters. Same thing for Dan. Well, Dan Aykroyd maybe Blues Brothers, but still very much Ghostbusters is iconic for those 3 guys, and then Ernie Hudson.
Yeah, I'd probably say that Ghostbusters is more famous than Blues Brothers. Like, I think you'd find more people who've seen Ghostbusters than have seen Blues Brothers.
Probably, yeah, that's true. That is probably true. And yeah, and like I said, it has a very devoted fan base, has cosplayers all over hell and back, which, Harrison, if you ever cosplay as a Ghostbuster, you need to be take some pictures of that. Show us all.
It would be cool, actually. It's one of the few cosplays that I'd be kind of interested in doing.
I actually think it was Dan Aykroyd who shows up in Casper, but yeah, they show that Ghostbusters and Casper, the friendly ghost, are apparently in the same universe.
Yeah, who are you going to call someone else?
All right, guys. I think we're ready to wrap it up here. So I'm going to say thank you very much to Harrison, of course, for always being here and for watching this movie with me. So yeah, anything you want to tell us or anything you want to just say before we go?
I every week I keep telling you guys I'm sorry that I haven't done anything yet. I'm finding it real hard to get all my stuff together and put everything down. Hey, we just had Sweatwood and David Hayter turn up in the chat. So
I pop by and say hi. Well, you missed the entire movie. Where is the movie? We just finished it.
Yeah,
we literally just finished.
We just finished it.
The fuck? Where is the movie? Like, you walked in right at the end, my brother. My brother in Christ. But anyway, so anyway, continue, Harrison.
So I'm not I haven't given up on the channel or anything like that. Like I'll be doing stuff at some point. I swear. I just need to get my house in order to try and get all that sorted. So please always keep an eye on the channel and turn up to our streams. David Hayes says, do we do watch parties often? We don't do them that often, but we do like doing them. So keep an eye out. We'll do them every now and then. We were just saying about how we'd like to watch Ghostbusters 2, so maybe we'll do that at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I'm pretty sure I have other stuff planned. Let me see. I'm fairly certain I have other watch parties planned somewhere down the line. But like it basically just kind of revolves around what's coming out. Like the only reason we did this is because of Ghostbusters or Frozen Empire, which is coming out in a couple of weeks, or maybe next week, I think. But either way, the point is, yeah. So sorry you guys missed it. We will be back next time. So I want to say thank you to Brightburn. We had no wait not that, that was a bot. To JPM, to HaX35 or Hex, I don't know. I'm not sure with you people with your weird names. And Dark Lycan, of course. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks to Glorious Sweatward for being in here, even though you didn't show up at the last minute. And how is the movie shown? Is it on linked on Twitch? No. So what I was doing is I had a screen. If you actually like click back literally like 5-10 minutes, you'll be able to see what was going on. I had the movie playing right here on the TV screen, and that was how we did it.
Dropped a link in the chat where you can go and watch it on YouTube. I believe in the States it's currently free to see on YouTube. It's not for me, but I've got it on Netflix.
Yeah, so that's basically how we do it. So I apologize. It's a really weird way. Like we've kind of been like tinkering with it for the last few years. Gee, everyone's showing up at the end here. What the hell?
Maybe it's because actually, I don't know why.
The algorithm, and also a lot of people are watching on Twitter for some reason, which I don't know what that's about. But I'm like, thanks.
Hello, but anyway, Twitter world.
But so I'm going to say thank you guys all for being here. If you guys liked our stuff, make sure you like, subscribe, comment below, check out the video afterward. We did an entire fucking almost 2-hour fucking commentary of a movie we had nothing to do with. So come check that out. It was real fun. And yeah, check out our other videos. We have all kinds of like watch parties, shooting the shit. We have reviews of different videos. And then we have a ton of audiobooks from my good friend Harrison here. He is a very talented voice actor. He does all kinds of funny Star Wars voices, like the surfer guy who turned out to be a spider for some reason. But yeah, guys. So, but make sure you check those out, and then check us out next week where we will be doing, I believe, a shoot the shit. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Nice. But until next time, I have been Gilbert.
I've been Harry.
And this has been the Fulcrum Entertainment Podcast. I don't have the Ghostbusters theme because I kind of was lazy this weekend. But yeah, we will. I'll play us out on our normal outro. We will see you guys. Peace.
Take care.